Hello, welcome to week 7 of English 113. You're getting there, you've almost made it, so if you're still hanging with us, great. And if you're not, you're probably not watching this. In the last lecture, I had talked a little bit about the literary analysis, and I talked a little bit about units of analysis that we use with literature, things like character, plot, setting, symbolism, theme. Well, this week we're doing an evaluation essay. An evaluation essay is very similar in the sense that you will choose units of analysis or criteria. Basically, criteria is the same kind of idea. Okay, what qualities or characteristics of the subject you think are appropriate and want to use as the basis for your argument. So, if you are familiar with, let's say, movie reviews, I assume you've all read some, you know that there are certain parts of a movie that pretty much every good review will address. The acting, the direction, the writing, maybe the special effects, the plot. Think also about restaurant reviews. I think we all sort of assume certain qualities of a restaurant will be addressed in a restaurant review. The quality of the food, the price, the location, the atmosphere, the service, etc., etc. The point is that we all sort of can agree on appropriate criteria for evaluating and analyzing a subject. So for this essay, I'm going to recommend that you do two things. One is that you choose a subject that you feel strongly about. An evaluation is a strongly rhetorical form of writing. You really are trying to convince an audience to agree or disagree with something. Maybe you're writing an encomium. You're writing in praise of a subject and you want your audience to feel that it's praiseworthy. Maybe you're writing a vituperation. You're making an argument about why your subject is unworthy of praise and you want your audience to dislike it as much as you do. Either way, you're trying to convince your audience to agree with you. So, in order to do that, you need to choose a subject that you do have a strong feeling about, that you can have almost sort of an evangelical zeal in making your argument about. Secondly, you need to choose appropriate criteria. Obviously, which subject you choose is going to determine to a large extent what criteria are appropriate. However, also think about genre. The St. Martin's Guide touches on this a bit, and I think it's rightfully so. For example, if you go to see a comedy film, odds are there aren't going to be a lot of very fancy special effects. But you wouldn't necessarily say that a comedy is a bad film because it doesn't have good special effects. In the same way, if you go see a summer blockbuster, one of these superhero movies, you expect the special effects to be an important part of the experience, so odds are that would be an important criterion that you would want to look at in a review. In the same way, you wouldn't necessarily write a review of McDonald's the same way you would write a review of Spago. Okay, they're two very different kinds of subjects, and so your audience is going to have different expectations of a review of each, and you need to be aware of that. So, if you can choose the right kind of topic, something you feel strongly about, something you have a strong opinion about, and you can develop a list of sensible criteria, you've basically got the structure of your essay down. Now, each paragraph of your essay will follow a similar format. You'll start out with some kind of claim about the criterion. Maybe it's, say, the acting in a movie. The acting in this and such movie was extremely effective. Okay, fair enough. But how do you back that up? Well, you back it up in two ways. Okay, one is with examples. Give me an example of a performance in the film that you think is really effective. Second is analysis. Now that you've given me your example, explain to me why you think it's effective. If you just give examples, then all you're doing is sort of making a list. You're not really doing any argument. If all you do is analysis, you're going to speak in generalities, and it's going to be hard for your reader to understand fully what you mean. If you look at the article in the St. Martin's Guide that deals with the film Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, you'll notice that the author gets extremely specific in both his selection of criteria and also in the examples that he provides. He goes to specific scenes, specific moments, even specific screenshots. Now, in an essay of 3 pages, you don't necessarily have to go quite that specific, although you may. And of course, if you're not writing about a movie, then you may find a different, entirely different style appropriate. But the general format of examples and analysis is one that fits any and every kind of evaluation essay. The only thing that will change is the type of criteria that you think are appropriate and the type of examples and analysis you think are appropriate. So there are several good examples in the St. Martin's Guide, and I suggest you look at them. You might also go online and just check out some online reviews and get a sense of the flavor of the style of an evaluation essay. I think you'll find this a pretty easy assignment because it should be familiar for you. You may never have written a 3-page essay about a movie, but in all likelihood, every single one of you has talked to a friend or a family member about a film that you saw, and you know how you go about explaining what it's like, what's going on, why they would like it or not like it. Now again, as with the literary analysis, very important that if you choose, say, a film or a TV show, that you don't fall into the trap of just writing a summary. Remember, this is not just examples, it's examples and analysis. It's not just telling me what happened, it's telling me why it matters. Why you think it's important, why you think it's effective, ineffective, good, bad, whatever. If you can do that, if you can do the higher level type of thinking, then I think you'll find that this assignment is really not that hard for you. As always, if you have questions, let me hear them through the Course Messages tab. Otherwise, good luck and keep on trucking.